Time to start putting the new headliner in place. Guess let's just go ahead. I think we're just about slid into the B pillar there. Go. Okay, there we go. All the snaps on this side are in. Anyway, now it's just a matter of putting all the snaps in and tightening all the screws. Alright, so apart from the sunroof trim panel, which honestly I think we'll wait until tomorrow to do, the headliner's back in. Oh, and the sunroof cover bugger. Everything's in up here, and the headliner is pretty damn straight across the top. I need to clean up one little spot there where I got some of that butyl on it. And as you can see, I'm going to have to redo the sun visors to match at some point. And I still need to redo the A-pillars, but I'm not sure that I want to use these because, well, they're kind of nasty, and that one's even worse. So that'll probably wait until I get some better cores to recover. Alright, well, since we got the headliner pretty much all in place inside the car, except for 2 screws that I remember I need to put in still, we can try and, I guess, start getting this piece for the sunroof trim glued up in place. So I guess what I'm going to try and do here first is at least get one little section in the middle glued to sort of just get a reference point and hold it. And at least if I can get that part in and secured, I think we're going to have a little bit of a fun time trying to get this corner to fit around there nicely. Gonna have to try and convince the material to stretch some, I guess, and that's my fault. I should have let it bunch up a bit in the middle more before I cut it and glued it around the edges so that it would have been easier to do, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like if I have to, I can redo it. Prefer not to, but I don't know. We're stuck with trying now. Alright, well, we've given it a little bit to tack up. So now we're just gonna put some screws through it. Now granted, we're not using the trim piece that actually sandwiches the leather into the roof because I want to be able to get to the rest of them, which, you know, you can't, or the rest of the top, which you can't if the trim piece is there in the way. So anyway, that gives us some sort of an idea where it needs to be. And up here I was trying a little bit of warming up this with the heat gun, and it seems like that sort of works, so alright, well, the trim is wrapped around and screwed in and glued in, and to be completely honest, I'm really not happy with how it turned out. I kind of overestimated how much I'd be able to stretch the material in the corners, and because of that, it's kind of bunched up in the corners. Not to mention I had to put a little extra piece of material here just to cover up the gap from where I had to cut it there, just to get the front and the side to go there. And it's not in there great right now. I'll have to come up with something later, but somehow I'm going to have to stitch something in the corner there to at least make it look good. Like I said, I'll have to come up with that later, but at least until I figure that out, I'm not happy with how it came out. I guess what I should have done was left extra material in the middle, kind of bunched up, and made sure I had enough around the corners. Would have wasted, more having to cut out, but then I would have been able to stretch it around here. Not to say I can't come back and do that eventually, but for now, just to get it back together. But like I said, not completely happy with that, or who knows, maybe I can even make some plastic little trim pieces to sort of go in the corner there and snap around it and make it look better. But until then, I'll just have to deal with it. From the inside, like I said, of course, the worst corner is fortunately directly above your head, so it's not extremely apparent, and I'll have to, like I said, tidy that up a bit, but it's not terrible, but it's not great either. Definitely shows that I'm not an upholsterer. Alright, so now that all the headliner stuff is in place, I guess we can move on to getting the sunroof panel back in. And hopefully all the counting turns we did taking it out works, and we can get it back in place pretty much lined up and don't have too much hassle there, but we'll have to try and find out. Alright, so it doesn't look like we're too horribly far off. You can sort of see the adjustment screw for the hinge up there, and then this side's actually just about in, and this side's just caught a little bit on top of it, so actually might be able just to pop that up in. Okay, so we're going to try this again with the little shuttle thing in the correct slot on the whatever the heck you want to call it that goes back and forth. I don't know, technical terms or something. Anyway, put it in the right spot, not the wrong one I had the first time. So now we got to put the roof back in again, and hopefully this time it'll work. Yeah, leather makes fart sounds. Alright, well, everything's tightened up how it should be, so now I guess time to see if it works. Helps when the key is on. Okay, so that pushed it up. I don't think it's all the way shut, but let's see if it'll go back. We have to watch these things. Well, hey, it opens. Okay, let's see if it closes. Still kind of slow. Also got a new seal, which is probably giving it a harder time than normal. Alright, well, I guess we got some adjusting to do because I can still see a gap here, but it looks like it's working pretty good. Like I said, I think we might be fighting it a little bit just because of the seal being new. And right, so since we want the back of the roof to come up a bit, I think what we want to do is loosen these and raise the back a little bit, and then tighten it back down, and hopefully that should raise it just a little bit. And we'll just do a little bit at a time here and see what we wind up with. Alright, so we've fussed with the sunroof a little more, and I think I've adjusted the back of it up about as high as it can go, honestly. I guess I'll go ahead and run it closed so you can see sort of what the situation is. But it doesn't quite completely close at the back. There's a really small gap right about here now. It did get a lot better. And the motor's still kind of slow given that I cleaned all the tracks. But, see, it's really slow. And if I just let it do it on its own, see, it gets up here and the seal hits there and it really can't shut it anymore. And you get a big gap left here. In fact, yeah, see, pretty big gap there. Now if I reach inside and push up on it, whenever I close it, I'll give that a shot. So if I do that, can just about get it to shut the whole way across. There's a really slight gap right here. And I said I really think a lot of that's just because the front of it can't quite come as far forward as it would like to because the seal's thicker, and that's keeping it from sort of coming up there. Really don't know any good way to get around that, to be completely honest. I guess one thing is, let it sit out in the sun and sort of, I don't know, I want to say soften, but sort of form to the car a little bit better, but I'm an idiot and did this in December, so there's not really hot, sunny days to leave it out in. So for the time being, might just have to get it kind of shut once like it is now and just leave it alone for now, but it's at least in there, and let's see. Ow. That hurt. See where the adjustment blocks are. See, it's pretty much adjusted as high up as it can be, but it should be pretty good for now. Still don't know if we'll put that panel in, or the interior panel, because I would like to be able to monkey with it if I have to, but at the same time I'd like the panel in so it insulates it a little better.